Hi, welcome to Spec Hunter. Today we are looking at something very different, the Xiaomi Pad 7 Ultra. This is not just another Android tablet. It comes with a massive 14-inch OLED display, something you don't see often in this space. But Xiaomi is not stopping at the screen. They have packed it with their own X-Ring 01 chipset, aiming to create a device that does much more than just show pretty colors. It is designed for entertainment, for productivity, for creative work, and a little gaming too. The question is, can it really do all of this well? Let's find out. The unboxing experience is simple but sleek. The packaging is minimal, and the unit here is the base model with 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. When you lift the lid, the Xiaomi Pad 7 Ultra is right there, taking center stage. And the first thing you notice is the size. It is big, no doubt about it, but surprisingly thin for such a large device. Underneath the tablet, you get the usual accessories. A small white box with the quick start guide, a USB-C charging cable, and a 120-watt fast charger. Nothing fancy in the box, but the tablet itself steals the show. The OLED screen on top looks stunning, and the overall design feels premium from the very first glance. Xiaomi has gone with extremely thin bezels, just 3.95 mm, giving the tablet a screen-to-body ratio of nearly 94%. That is impressive and gives the device a futuristic look. They have also worked on palm rejection, which is necessary because with bezels this thin, it is almost impossible to hold the tablet without touching the screen. Of course, thin bezels also mean a compromise. At the top, you will see a notch. It feels a little awkward, especially when holding the tablet in portrait mode, but if you want a 14-inch OLED tablet, this is something you will need to accept. Inside the notch is a 32-megapixel selfie camera. It works well for video calls and casual selfies. Xiaomi has also added a small LED light that turns on when the camera is active, which is a nice little touch for privacy. The display itself is the star of the show. OLED panels on tablets are still rare, and a 14-inch one is almost unheard of. This is Xiaomi's first attempt at OLED on a tablet. Their first OLED phones years ago had some issues, but this time they've done much better. The screen is bright and sharp. Colors are vibrant without looking unnatural. Text looks crystal clear, thanks to the 3.2K resolution, and the 120 Hz refresh rate makes everything feel smooth. Whether you are browsing, drawing, or watching videos, the experience feels premium. Xiaomi has used Gorilla Glass 5 for protection, and for those sensitive to screen flicker, it supports high-frequency 4800 Hz PWM dimming. There is also a special version with a soft nano screen coating to reduce reflections. I have not tested that version personally, but it looks promising for outdoor use. The display supports Dolby Vision and HDR10+, so supported content looks even better. Paired with 8 speakers tuned for Dolby Atmos, the multimedia experience here is very strong. The 3:2 aspect ratio does mean you will see black bars when watching movies, but with OLED's deep blacks and the sheer size of this panel, it still feels very immersive. For entertainment, this tablet is clearly one of the best big screen options out there. When it comes to OLED Android tablets, the list is short. You have the Honor Magic Pad, Samsung's Tab S10 series, Huawei's MatePad Pro, Acer's Iconia, NEC's Lavitab, and now the Xiaomi Pad 7 Ultra. Among these, the Xiaomi stands out for raw performance, and that is because of the X-Ring 01 chipset. This is the same chip we saw in the Xiaomi 15S Pro smartphone, but tuned differently here. The high-performance cores are clocked slightly lower, and the GPU is also underclocked. Xiaomi likely made this change to control heat in such a thin device, and it seems like the right move. In stress tests, the Pad 7 Ultra handled 20 minutes without crashing or overheating. Performance dropped only about 12%, and the temperature stayed around 42 degrees Celsius, limited to one small area on the back. That is a very good result for such a slim device. The tablet comes with 12 or 16 GB of LPDDR5 DRAM and up to 1 TB of fast UFS 4.1 storage. Despite being just 5.1 mm thin, Xiaomi has managed to fit in a huge 12,000 mAh battery. With 120-watt fast charging, it powers up quickly, which is rare for tablets of this size. Holding the Pad 7 Ultra feels a bit unusual at first. It is very large, not the most comfortable for long handheld sessions, but surprisingly light at just over 600 grams. The design is clean, and the camera module on the back is simple. It features a 50-megapixel Samsung JN1 sensor. It is not designed to replace your phone, but works well for quick photos or document scans. On the back, you will also notice pins for attaching a keyboard case. Xiaomi's design is similar to Apple's Magic Keyboard for the iPad Pro, with a tablet floating above the keys. The trackpad supports gestures, and the stylus works smoothly for drawing and note-taking. For productivity, Xiaomi has included a workstation mode. This lets you open up to 4 apps in resizable windows, making multitasking easier. The USB-C port supports video out, but only mirroring, not extended display. Still, it is a handy feature. For security, the fingerprint scanner is built into the power button. It is quick and reliable in use. Gaming performance is solid but comes with a caveat. The X-Ring 01 chip is powerful, but driver support is still better on Qualcomm processors. This means some games, especially emulators, may not run perfectly. If you plan on heavy game emulation, this might not be the best option. But for most Android games, the performance is more than enough. Overall, the Xiaomi Pad 7 Ultra feels like a media powerhouse with added productivity features. It is not trying to fully replace a laptop, but it balances entertainment, work, and casual gaming very well. The large OLED display makes it perfect for watching content, and the X-Ring 01 ensures it runs smoothly for everyday tasks. Pricing in China starts at 5,699 yuan. At first glance, it may look expensive, but compared to the Samsung Tab S10 Ultra, the price makes sense. Even the top model with 1 TB storage and the nano glass option is about 20% cheaper than Samsung's base model. That makes it a very competitive option in the flagship tablet space. So, what do you think about the Xiaomi Pad 7 Ultra? Is this the OLED Android tablet you've been waiting for, or do you prefer what Samsung or Huawei are offering? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon so you don't miss the latest updates.